Welcome to StudyAssistant.org audio-video tutorial. At the end of this lesson you will be able to identify the factors of production and then differentiate between production and productivity. I would like to begin this lesson by looking at the big picture of an economy. You see, from now on you should use a model that represents a system of how an economy functions so you can better understand the concepts that follow. It is also good to develop a simple model. A good model is the circular flow diagram. In this simple system you should visualize an economy with a small population, where the people are all engaged in a number of activities such as buying, selling, hiring, working, manufacturing, etc. Our model can now look like this. On one side of our model, we see firms that produce goods and services. These firms are the sellers of goods and services. They therefore need the inputs of land, labor, capital, and enterprise, the factors of production, to produce goods and services. And on the other side, we have householders who buy these goods and services with the income they earn. A close look at this circular flow also shows us that the factors of production are owned by households who also consume all the goods and services that a firm produces. The circular flow also shows buyers and sellers meet in the market to exchange their values and complete these economic transactions. You will also notice that income flows from firms to households, and input for production flows from households to firms. Therefore, we can define factors of production as the inputs used to produce goods and services. These inputs are land, labor, capital, and enterprise. Therefore, the manufacturer of pens uses workers, labor, iron, natural resource from land, the factory and equipments, capital, and the entrepreneur who organizes the other factors of production, enterprise, to produce the pens to sell to its consumers. Thus, we can see from this simple flow chart that production is simply the organization of activities for the transformation of raw materials into finished products. These activities are intended to produce goods and services of value to both the buyer and seller. The act of production shows these organized activities transform raw materials into finished products that have a higher value. Now, production can be increased if we employ more labor, install more machinery, and use more materials. However, this increase does not mean an increase in productivity. Productivity is a result of efficiency in the use of factors such as land, material, machines, capital and labor to produce the final product. Thus, productivity is a measure of performance. Productivity refers to the use of resources involved in production. If a factory is able to reduce wastage of resources, such as labor, machines, material, power, space, time, capital, etc., that factory is able to improve its productivity. If less and less input of resources are used to make the final product, and thus reduce production cost, that factory is able to boost its productivity. If the factory is able to improve its processes, so the production system involved reduces fatigue among its workers, improves the working conditions, and simplifies tasks that was once onerous, one can say the factory's productivity was improved. Productivity is more about doing things in an effective and an efficient manner. It is about doing the right thing and doing it right. Now, the circular flow model is a simple economic model. In the real economy we see thousands of goods and services produced every day. These goods and services compete for the limited factors of production. Therefore, a firm's production possibilities is dependent on the available factors of production and available technology. In other words, An economy can only produce at any point so much of a given product. Producing more than what it can, the economy must seek to raise its productivity by improving its processes, reducing wastage of raw materials, and reducing production cost. This brings us to the end of this lesson. You may review the lesson before you move on to the activities and exercises.